Back with another video. I've been goofing off working with my Guardian 23CB, and I got bored. I wondered what a 1 amp PC fan would do with a speaker. Oh, and by the way, this is a 8 ohm speaker come out of a TV, and I've got it bridged with about, it says 8 ohms, but it shows 6 ohms on my capacitance, resistance, and inductance meter. Anyhow, I added about 1 ohm to it. I don't know. Anyhow, it sets at about 3.8 ohms because I was going to replace it with that 3.2 ohm speaker right there, but I decided not to. Check this out. I'm using a breadboard power supply with my own leads I made for it. And just to show you, right here, power coming out, and like it says, gray mark, 808, and it's got all these perforations for LEDs and components. Sorry, I'm having to zoom out at a weird angle. Right there, there's nothing connected to it, and it just runs directly to the speaker. Now watch. Alright, I started it off too slow. It sounds just like an engine, in my opinion. Alright, now I'm going to take this metal washer. Anyway, that's what you get with an old PC fan power supply. Oh, by the way, it's peaking out at about going from 0 to 15 positive volts. I've got it wired positive to negative running through the speaker. And the cool thing about it is the fan runs just normal, but it's picking up the power usage. So since this has switching transistors in it, it oscillates back and forth to pulse the power going into it since it's a brushless DC fan. In fact, it should say it on here somewhere. Anyhow, it's a DC fan. It's brushless, so it uses coils like an AC fan, but it basically has an inverter circuit that switches the power on and off multiple times a second, and that's why you get the oscillation of the speaker. Let's see. The reason it's making like that buzzard sound, like in early 1980s truck, like a Chevy pickup, like when you open the door it goes ee. The reason it does that is it's got 3 switching transistors. I was testing the inverter circuit. I've got it running off of a computer power supply running into that cigarette lighter plug, running through the cord to the radio. But let's see if we can pick up that oscillation. Nope. It doesn't seem to pick it up. Oh, and by the way, the reason it's making that weird flickering buzzing noise is the power transistors in the back for the inverter circuit. It's switching the DC on and off to create pulse DC, running it through the transformer. And the reason it does this is because it's got to drive these tubes, and they have to have a B plus voltage of about 250 volts to operate. Where's my meter? Alrighty, let's see. All I got is one of those old cheap meters that you'd buy from Radio Shack in around about the 70s. So it's vintage. It's a vintage meter, but at least it works to prove as a proof of concept. Where's that contact I touched and almost killed myself on? Oh yeah, and I promise you, it will kill you. Alright. Maybe it would help if I would flip it to DC. See? Actually, it's sitting at 250 right now, so it's the B plus is down to about, let's see, about 160, 165. So the B plus is low right now. Not exactly sure why. That might be because I'm not running it standard on AC. Plus, I think one of the switching transistors is down on it. Oh well. Anyhow, still. I've got an antenna hooked up to it right now. I've actually got a speaker hooked up here. Instead of the onboard speaker, I'm using I think it's an 8mm audio jack. Kind of like what a guitar amp uses, but it's mono. There's only 2 connections. And it's loose. There we go. It's a cute little radio. I think it's cool. I read on a forum it says the Guardian 23CB is made in America, but my big question is, why is a lot of stuff in here say Japan, like the back of that meter? Japan. Excuse me for my Tennessee accent. You don't like it, don't watch it. I'm pretty sure a lot of other people here from Tennessee say the same thing. That's Sylvania, that's American. That one's Japan. Oh, by the way, I love this phone camera. It works so well. That's kind of an overlook of the radio. Let's do a bottom side look. And yes, it's switched on, and I'm about to pull a stunt that's a little bit unintelligent to do, and that is to flip the radio while it's powered up. Set up there, stupid. It's that fan. Anyhow, this is the inner workings of a Guardian 23CB with undercarriage part of it. All these little wires running everywhere. Power, resistor, that's a capacitor. All the little round discs are capacitors. All the little tube things like that right there I'm pointing at are resistors. That's a capacitor and that's a capacitor. They're going over the placement of those other capacitors because the other ones are dead. I'm about to flip the dang radio because I hit the power cord. And I'm about to touch the B plus side, which that'll be fun for y'all to see. Anyhow, this is what radios were like back in, all the way from the, I believe they started this complex around the late, or mid to late 50s, early 60s. There's things crushing wires under here, which ain't good. That's gonna not happen. Anyhow, and this right here is the bracket. Just in case any of you guys have a Guardian 23 and don't have a bracket, but you want to make one. Extruded aluminum with a bent metal hanger bar and these two big knobs. I've got that little extra bolt there because somebody had lost it when I bought it. Believe it or not, I paid a total of $60 for this Guardian 23CB, $20 for this Mako 200, and then about $5 a piece for two SWR meters. And they're it's basically the same as the Realistic brand. It was a Radio Shack name brand. It was bought from Radio Shack. Although I personally don't buy anything from, like, I don't buy fully assembled CBs from there much anymore for the simple fact I just don't like them. Cheap quality. This here, even if this was, I'm not sure if it was made in Japan. I about stuck my finger there. I'm not sure if it was made in Japan or if it's just using Japan parts, but I'm alright with it. It works fairly well. I've peeked it out, not with a dead key, but for those of you who don't know what a dead key is, a dead key is where when you don't, like, you key it up but you don't talk, the meter, it's illegal if you go past 4 watts dead key. But if you're talking, your dead key is 4 watts, and then it peaks out when you're talking up to about 15. That's alright. It's legal, but that's pushing the limits. And this, for those of you who don't know, when I originally got the radio, I didn't know a little bit about it. I had to go online, do a little bit of research. But you have to have a self-amplified mic. So this has a transistorized circuit in the head of it with volume control in the base, and it runs off of a 9-volt battery. This is constant. This right here is constant key. You flip it in that position, and this, like, you have to press the button to key it up. But if you have that switch flipped over here, you have to press the key in to go from transmit to receive, which is also known as RX and TX. RX is receive and TX is transmit. I'm going a little bit nerd rage on this. Can't help it. Okay, I've got the automatic noise limiter engaged. Let's see if we can pick up anybody. Audio. Looks like modulation's low. Audio. That right there is supposed to stay fairly lit when I talk. Alright, let's see, where's my tuning screwdriver? Let's see, let's use my redneck 2-inch screwdriver. Oh, by the way, my redneck 2-inch screwdriver, it's just one of these old cheap Husky screwdrivers with a piece of, if I can find a piece of shrink tubing to put on it. This thing gets loud and obnoxious after a while. Gotta turn it off for a minute because the ringing's giving me a headache. Excuse me for the long video about me rambling on, talking about radios and stuff. But anyhow, this is just for people who decide they want to watch something about it, or people who are looking for some advice. Don't get me wrong, I'm not the most knowledgeable about it, but I know a thing or two. I've been around a little bit. 16 years may not be much, but it's more knowledge about this stuff than a lot of people my age know. Because most people like video games and skateboarding and drugs. I personally get my kicks from working on stuff like this. Plus, it's a good thing to know. There we go. There's my tuning screwdriver. Piece of shrink tubing over the shaft of the screwdriver. Let me turn it back on. She's a mess, she is, but she's my mess. Audio, audio. Audio, audio. Audio, audio. Audio. Audio, audio, audio. Alright, there's another potentiometer on here somewhere. Let's see. Aha! Audio. I believe that is part of the modulation circuit, I see. Audio, audio. You're supposed to be using a plastic tuning screwdriver, but I ain't got none. Audio, audio. Then again, my mic's almost dead, so that might be part of it. Let's see. Good way to find out. Then again, I am using an old wore out Sunbeam trash battery. So, that power supply I was using for the fan speaker project that sounds like a motor. Audio. Audio, audio. Let's go to a band that's not used as much. Anyway, I'm going to end the video here with the Guardian 23CB. Tons of stuff. YouTube videos. Anyhow, I can quit dropping things everywhere. Let's see. That was a mess. Anyhow, I'm gonna leave the video here. It was good talking again. See y'all later. Bye.